Everything works if you do. Most investors never are willing to get out of their own way. They're never willing to take the action that's going to lead to those results. You can get all the information. In fact, it's all at your fingertips. I'm not going to lie to you. You could probably find everything that you want inside of YouTube, but the only problem is this. Now, our goal with the Wholesalers Playbook is to really dissect our members' businesses where we can, again, look under the hood and see what's going on, what's operating. Can we pick apart small little pieces that they might not see? And what we've come up with is creating two core pillars inside of the Wholesalers Playbook. We have the Wholesalers Training Vault, which is stacked with over 40 course modules, giving you step-by-step pieces showing you how to launch, grow, and scale your real estate wholesaling business. Now, if we pop on over to the Wholesalers Playbook inside of the modules, we got everything from getting started, which has modules about getting your mindset in the right place, breaking through those limiting beliefs, figuring out those barriers and those self-defeating thoughts that you've been holding on to for so long. Because if we want to build a sound foundation, we have to first break apart the weakest pieces. Because at the end of the day, you have to believe. If you believe something in your heart, it's already yours. The faith of a mustard seed can move a mountain, right? So the first thing you have to do, you have to believe in your heart that success in this industry and in life is already within your grasp. Once you've convinced yourself of that, everything else is a cakewalk, I promise. So mindset is obviously where this all starts, right? But going with it, we're really opening up the back-end system to show you guys what we have operating. We got the softwares and tools, why we use the tools that we use. We show you how to get started, how to set up, how to run campaigns, market to motivated sellers, sales and acquisitions. This is basically your business built inside of a box, giving you all the tools that you need to launch and scale your real estate business. Now, obviously, inside of the training modules, we saw that there's a major gap. There's a gap in the process because there's a certain kind of disconnect with people that are going through, watching online content, trying to take the information and piece it together to the best of their ability, right? There's a gap because most people never take action. And action is the biggest foundation piece, the biggest driver of results in any industry, in any human life. If we're not taking action on the information that we take in, then we're getting absolutely nowhere. Now, my favorite saying is massive, imperfect action. Massive imperfect action is the equation to success, because most people try to perfect the system and they never end up getting started because they're so caught up in getting everything right. The highest performers and the highest achievers in any industry, I promise you, are the ones that are not afraid to fail, that they get out of their comfort zones and they take massive imperfect action towards their goals. Why is this so important? Because that is the barrier to entry. We all had to start somewhere. So in order to bridge this gap, right, we had to build a bridge between the training vault and the connection piece to really engage our community so we can help more investors grow. That's where the weekly mastermind calls come into play. So the weekly mastermind calls are where we get the community together on a Zoom call, and we have a different topic of discussion each and every week, right? Our goal is to take not only the core content inside of the modules, but to take strategic approaches to help our members think outside the box and build better, more efficient businesses. At the end of every mastermind call, we have a Q&A session, which is truly where the magic happens. because that is where we bridge the gap and we build these pillars, right? We build these pillars that hold up that bridge that's supporting the content, the education, and the action, right? We need this foundation in place to lead to any lasting results and to support any type of bridge or model that's going to be sustainable into the future. Additional to that, and this is the last added bonus that really just popped in my mind and said, hey, how can we help more people? We started to put together a virtual assistant training program where every single week, every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, our back-end virtual assistants will teach and train real estate investing teams, right? They have virtual assistant trainings where they train VAs to set up processes, to set up standard operating procedures, to take that weight off of the CEO or the entrepreneur. People that are wearing that hat and they're trying to escape to the next level, but they just don't have the roadmap or those puzzle pieces to put into place. So inside of these virtual assistant trainings, very simple, they're just going over some of the tools that we're using in our business. Primarily the predictive dialer and the SMS platform, right? Simple tools that can be used, but we take our business model and we provide a scaling solution for real estate teams, for solopreneurs, or maybe it's just an investor that's getting started and needs help getting comfortable using some of these tools on the back ends. We train these people just like we would train one of our own who's getting started inside of the industry. At the end of the day, that whole method inside of itself is built to equip and to sustain lasting success inside of this industry. Now I want to close by just saying this one thing. Everything works if you do. Most investors never are willing to get out of their own way. They're never willing to take the action that's going to lead to those results. You can get all the information. In fact, it's all at your fingertips. I'm not going to lie to you. You could probably find everything that you want inside of YouTube, but the only problem is this. I'm all about compressing time. If you can take the experience that it took someone else 7, 8, 10, 20 years to build, and you could wrap those lifelong experiences into actionable steps, into life principles, into ways of operating and running a business, then it's going to accelerate your growth more exceedingly than any other commitment or investment in your life. Period. It's that simple. But most people are never going to make that step. They're never going to make the commitment, and they're never going to get out of their own way. They'll continue to spin on this hamster wheel, thinking they're going somewhere, but they have no clear or defined vision for where they're going in the future. So again, Wholesalers Playbook is there as a tool. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not the equation that's going to solve every piece to your real estate problems, because you're always going to have gaps in your lead bucket. You're always going to have new inbound leads coming through. You're always going to have problems with your sales. You're always going to have gaps in your acquisitions process. You're always going to be looking for the newest, greatest answers for your marketing system. But by tracking your numbers, by dialing in and learning to read the data, you're going to get more predictable and more consistent with your deal flow, which at the end of the day helps add to more revenue. And that's what's most important in this business at the end of the day.